What's up guys, my name's Seth, you're watching Petrol 360 and the bike is finished. Alright guys, welcome to the last video in the bike build series, and as you can see it is completely finished. So let's take a quick look at it.
Do I wanna know if this feeling flows both ways, side to still go? Was sort of hoping that you'd stay. Baby, we both know that the nights were mainly made for saying things that you can't say tomorrow day. Crawling back to that the nights were mainly made for saying things that you can't say all the day. Holding back to
Alright, so if this is your first video, we did an entire build series on this bike. Everything from the idea of it and the parts and making the frame modifications. Even went through and looked at how it aged the bike. And well, it's finally finished for the most part. So we got it running, riding. I'm actually pretty impressed. It putts down the road pretty good, as you saw. It's a lot of fun. It's a little hard to start. So as you know, you have to drop the clutch and bump start it. And the back end seems to lock up a lot whenever you want to do that. So you definitely have to do it on asphalt or pavement or something like that. You can get it to do it on some gravel, but it's kind of hard for me because I live on a dirt road and my cement pad is it's pretty small. So yeah, I mean, we got everything together. Like you saw, the gas tank was the biggest pain in the butt. Ended up using POR 15 gas tank sealer inside of it. That actually sealed it up really well. I'm super happy with it. Did 2 coats of that and tested it, and it's all sealed up and good to go. So that was the biggest time crunch, was the gas tank, either finding somebody to TIG weld it or just, you know, fighting all of the small pinholes that got in it, because I MIG welded this thing and MIG welding just doesn't work for gas tanks. So other things, we got the motor running. Super glad I went through and cleaned it out like I showed you. Thing was full of metal, absolutely trashed inside of there. So if you get one of these kits, go ahead and take it apart, you know, dump carb cleaner all through it and try to just rinse out all of the metal shavings from the manufacturing process, because they don't do it. So did that, put 2-stroke oil in it. When I first fired it up, it smoked like crazy for, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 minutes, just burning off the old oil. I thought, you know, it's gonna smoke like this forever, but it ended up clearing up. Has a little bit of smoke, just like any normal 2-stroke would, but with the right mix of gas and oil, it runs great. All right, guys, so kind of dive into some of the details. Guess we'll start up top. I did end up using the stock levers here, and then wrapped them with this faux leather wrap, and then kind of aged them, used some oil on them or whatever, and used string around the edges. Still like to find a end cap, something to match with everything else, but haven't found anything yet. Routed all the cables. Cables are the biggest issue, cables and wiring. I tried to keep the bike so it has one side presentable, so all the wires hide down the down tube on the other side. Kind of neats it up a little bit. That'll bring us down to the gas tank. So I did end up using a car gas cap. It's a little bit larger than I wanted it to be, but the motorcycle ones were just crazy expensive. So that one was from Speedway Motor. Then I went ahead and kind of body worked the tank a little bit. Used some high fill primer, then sanded it down and used the same color on top of it. And before I clear coated it though, I went ahead and put my logo down. This was supposed to be gold leaf with a black drop shadow, but I ended up doing a test run. As you can see here, we have this gold leaf with the logo. It just did not work out. So I'm gonna have to get back to that one day and maybe try to recover it, because I think it would look really cool to have gold leaf in here. So as you can see, the gas tank has been vibrating a ton, and we ended up breaking the welds on one of the nuts. Not a huge deal, but we need to find a way to keep the tank from jiggling around. So from there, front end, we didn't really do anything here. Went ahead and did some faux rust on some of these parts. So that's actually paint that you see there, that red rust. It is real rust, but it's a paint thing that I'm kind of working on. Everywhere you kind of see it on the bike, other than on the chrome stuff, is all fake, which has actually turned out pretty good. So down on the motor, I did wrap this like we saw in one episode. It looks okay. It didn't come out perfect, unfortunately. Then we sandblasted these to make them look rust. So this is all fake, real rust, but I sandblasted it. It's not like it's been sitting out for a long time. Motor, just covered it in oil and grease and grime and let it sit out in the rain. I do want to do something different with the air cleaner and the gas line itself, something that looks older, but for right now, it's fine, it works. The chain is kind of a pain in the butt. It's the hardest part about this, getting this sprocket straight and then able to get a line going all the way through. As you can see here on my tire, we are rubbing the chain, and we're also rubbing right here, and that is causing a lot of noise. But it can't go over any further because we're hitting here, so you can't go either way. It's just too tight. It's part of it, just part of how this whole thing works. But it's pretty straight. I haven't had any issues with it coming off or anything like that, which is good. This tensioner, it takes a lot of torque to get it tensioned well. It's actually too much tension right now, but this ends up coming loose quite a bit, having to tighten that up, but it's not too bad. And then come up here to the saddle. This is the D's we saw earlier. Turned out pretty good. I need to do something with these, make these rust a little bit, make it look older. And then the rear wheels, same as the front, didn't really do too terribly much. I do kind of want to put a logo right here on the back. I think that would be a good idea. Put that D from the logo, the Dixon logo on there. But other than that, that's about it. It actually turned out really well. So I'm pretty stoked, pretty excited. The other things, we got some the vintage pedals on here. They suck for pedaling, but that's all right. The other biggest thing that I would probably change is the gearing. Not for the actual motor, because I don't want to go any faster and I don't need it to accelerate anymore. It actually pulls me pretty well, but I need to change for the actual pedals. It takes too much force to get going. It's meant to, beach cruiser on flat ground. I live out in the middle of nowhere and have lots of hills, so it doesn't work very well, and it's kind of hard to get up to speed in order to start it. So I like to change out either the main sprocket or probably the rear sprocket to make the ratio for pedaling a little bit better, because right now, cruising with the gas is about the same as pedaling decent. So it's not a very good ratio for doing this kind of riding. If you had a mountain bike or something with gears, you could easily overcome that, but I'll have to just change out one of the sprockets. Other than that, I really haven't any issues with the bike so far. Haven't put tons of miles on it, but I've taken it for a couple of, 2-mile rides or something like that, just around the neighborhood. It ran really well. Gas tank worked well. Carburetors actually seems really good. I haven't wound this thing out 100%. I don't know if I want to ride it, you know, full on, full speed. It vibrates a lot. It's not very balanced. So, but yeah, the carburetor actually was tuned up pretty well. It doesn't, starting is a little difficult. So I don't know if I can change something to make cold starts a little bit better, or if I just need to change the sprockets like I was talking about. So other than that, man, there's really not too much to go with it. You just have to check all the nuts and bolts a ton, because I've found quite a few loose, and I lose tension on the chains pretty often. The thing vibrates a ton like any other motorcycle usually does. So you have to lock tight and check torque and tighten everything, because I've lost a couple screws off of it and stuff is loosened up like crazy. But other than that, man, it's done. The project's done. It's winter right now, as you can tell by me. But I'm looking forward to riding this thing a lot over the summer. It's just a lot of fun. It's been a really cool project. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen the full build series, make sure to go back and watch it. There's quite a few videos talking about how I built the bike. Again, this is my first bike. It's my first project like this, so I'm not a welder or fabricator, so go easy on me with some of this stuff. But it's been a ton of fun. I've learned a lot. You know, might do another one day, maybe with a bigger motor or something like that, but you'll have to check back in. And with that said, make sure to like and subscribe, guys, and we'll see you next time.
No. Yeah, like sit on it or something.